All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus channel. Please be sure to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe if you enjoy our content. Mike Catalana, Dan Fates, I'm Jenna Cottrell. The Bills 5-3. They're heading down to face off against the Jets, who are 2-6. Mike, we'll start with you, and we'll start with the phenomenon that is Mike White, the Jets QB, who is just electrifying this New York offense. What's your take on him?
Well, here's what I think about him. He's a guy with an opportunity that he probably didn't think was going to come, and then it did. And he's on a team that drafted a quarterback number 2 overall. So he's thinking, hey, maybe I can get a spot, be the backup, and see what happens. All of a sudden, he's playing. And he comes out, and he lights it up in his first start. I mean, we're talking about 37 completions, which is a record. They put his jersey in the Pro Football Hall of Fame on his first start. Throws for 400 yards, and he made plays. And guys, did you see some of the plays he made? Not only did he throw the game-winning touchdown, then he catches a 2-point conversion, right? He's got a little bit of that to him, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Romo. That's what I think of when I watch this guy. He has that feel of who the heck is this guy? So it may only last a couple of weeks, but right now they've got it with this guy. The players believe in him. Yeah, it's not that they don't believe in Zach Wilson. They know Zach Wilson's not ready yet. So if you're a Jets fan, they're thinking, let's ride it. Let's see what we have. He could implode on Sunday.
Yeah.
But he's already shown the ability to read defenses, look around more than a lot of these guys. Because, Dan, this guy's been on an NFL roster of some sort for as long as Josh Allen.
This is a perfect segue to bring up my favorite quote of all time. Micah Hyde, 2017. Confidence is a hell of a drug, everybody.
Yeah.
And Mike White has tons. He's overdosing right now on all of the confidence that he has. This is the fact of that he's a dangerous guy because he knows his future is probably not in New York. He's auditioning. He's getting his time here in this chance. And that's where he's a dangerous guy. I know people laugh and say, oh, well, so what? It's beginner's luck. Yeah, but beginner's luck wins you some money at the casino every once in a while until it runs out.
Also, like Nathan Peterman could have used some beginner's luck. Like, it's not a given that you have beginner's luck.
Leave Peterman alone.
I'm just saying, I was using it as an example.
Well, right. Not everybody has this. And Dan made a mention of it in our live broadcast on Thursday night, the idea that, he gets out there and he feels a little bit like he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Right. He's not like a typical young quarterback who is worried about making mistakes. Somebody was telling me the story about John Calipari of Kentucky, talking about his young, highly rated point guard and how the kid was playing nervous all through like the exhibition games and even in the first game. And he's finally like, just go play because he's super talented. A lot of times the guy who was the draft pick doesn't play that way because he's worried about being perfect or he's worried about showing everybody he wanted. You're Mike White. You're just a guy. But now you're in the cover of the New York Post and you're in the Hall of Fame, and it may only last a few weeks. But, hey, if we look back and say Mike White only lasted 3 weeks, one of those 3 weeks would be against the Bills.
That is true. The legend of Mike White. We shall see. Although I did see this stat, and I thought this was pretty good. Jets have scored 64 points in the past 2 games. They only had 80 points in the first 6. Okay. Yeah. And obviously, Mike was getting hurt in that game last week, but still.
And the Bills' defense is playing really well. We've covered enough about their inept offense the Bills had in Jacksonville. We don't need to beat the dead horse anymore. But just the fact that this Bills defense has done really good at confusing young quarterbacks. And I know Mike White is not a rookie, but in the sense he is a young player. They confused Davis Mills. They confused Taylor Heineke. They've eaten alive Tua, Jacoby Brissett, young quarterbacks. Leslie Frazier, Sean McDermott have really kind of dominated this season. So you have to feel comfortable. Again, while I do agree that Mike White is dangerous, I like my chances with Sean McDermott, Leslie Frazier going up in this matchup.
All right, so you say that, which I totally understand why. What do you think in terms of the offense from the Bills, Dan? Like, do you see that bounce back effort? I'm assuming you do.
Yeah,
But
I was on our live broadcast on Buffalo Plus on Thursday night. I said that the Jacksonville game's an overreaction. And Jenna, you kind of rolled your eyes at me. I understand that it's a
I do that
cumulative
whenever
effect.
I can.
I know it was a cumulative effect. That's probably why the Jacksonville game feels so bad. But it's the fact of, look, this offense was still second in the league in points, scoring 33 points a game not that long ago. And I know it doesn't feel the same. I understand that. I still think this is such a talented offense. I don't know what they did to move on or turn the page, whether they buried a football or burned the tape, but just forget about it. Move on. Spencer Brown comes back. You're going to move Darrell Williams to guard, which he feels more comfortable with. Apparently, he's played way better there this year. I think the offense will get back on track against the Jets. I think they get back in that 30-point range and that we can all move on and forget about this Jaguars debacle because Brian Daboll, Josh Allen are just too good to struggle again.
Yeah. And I agree. I mean, I think the overreaction just came from how bad the Bills looked in that Jacksonville game. How they really needed to just put together one solid drive to get a touchdown, and they couldn't. Josh Allen was running for his life. He was making 2018 Josh Allen things. The O-line was having their struggles. The run game, which is something that we've talked about and we've harped on, even Sean McDermott mentioning this week in his press conference, like he was talking about how this is an issue that stretches back even to the end of last year. Like all of these things, I understand why the phrase I'm using is just your confidence is shaken because you saw the Bills get beat by a very bad Jacksonville team. You mentioned confidence is a hell of a drug. Do we think that this Bills team was so confident that they felt like this season, in this stretch of the season, they could kind of just roll the ball out, be the more talented team, and go from there? I think
there's something to that, Jenna. I think that Miami game ended up being one where they won. They did not play well. Mm-hmm. Miami made a lot of dumb mistakes. And if you're back at that game, you're like, Miami's got the ball down 17-11. Like it was a game. And the Bills found a way to win, and Josh ran it in late, and everybody's happy. It was like, oh, okay, it was close a while, and they won. Mm-hmm. They went into Jacksonville. Dan, you're down there on the field. That was a team. You said it. You said there was not a lot of excitement on the side, not their normal way that they are. And I think they got punched in the mouth a little bit. And I think they came in, first time I really believe they came in a little cocky. And I've given them a break on some of these other. I think they came in like, all right, we're good, and this team's no good, and we're going to play. And Jacksonville was like, yeah, well, this is only going to be our second. We're going to win. It really doesn't matter, but we're going to come out and play hard. And they did. And I think you get that atmosphere. And this is what I was going to say to you. When we go down there Sunday at MetLife Stadium, Jets fans know what they have, right? They've had a lot of crap they put up with that franchise. They don't think this is a playoff team. They're nowhere. They're a pretty realistic bunch. They know what they've had. But they got a little excitement, and they would love to be knocking the Bills off, just like the Patriots, like getting that upset. Mm-hmm. I think that place is going to be rocking on Sunday. I think they're going to be ready. And I think the Bills better go in there thinking they're playing against an equal team and go out and try to beat them. And I don't think they did that against Jacksonville.
I agree. I do think a hungry dog runs faster too. But I will say,
I also think, Jenna, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think motivation goes to die in Jacksonville. And I think that was part of it.
I think it's a combination of everything. I think it's the arrogance. I think it's the motivation going to die. I think it's a lot. It's so interesting though, because like you hear the cliches of like it's a week-to-week league.
That's the truth. It's flat out the truth.
No, I agree, but I'm saying like again, that game last week was an example of it's a week-to-week league, and you better bring it every week because if you don't, you're going to Jacksonville.
You're going to be embarrassed, and they were embarrassed in that game. And I just think that they went down there. I thought they were not immune to it, but they're very disciplined. We joked about it, the way they just talked all the time. And we're like, no, they really believe it. It's the first time I thought it was a little bit of lip service going into Jacksonville. And they played like it was. So maybe they learned a lesson in that game. Maybe that's the game they'll always look back on and go, remember Jacksonville.
Yeah.
We're burying the lead, guys.
Yep.
It's the Manning curse. It's the Manning cast curse.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
We buried the lead here. So let's flush the game.
Nobody get on it next week.
Nobody. It's going to be no current players are going to want to go on this thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't want to go on.
Brady, Stafford, like it wasn't like they've just had bad quarterbacks come on. Like they've had these superstars on great teams go there and lose. Ain't nobody coming on this again.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Like Lamar Jackson's not going on it. Tannehill's not going on it.
Nope. I wouldn't. All right.
How about Mac Jones in 2 weeks? Let's get him on there.
Let's do that. All right, Mike, what's your pick for the game?
Yeah, I wanted to say 38-13 because I like that score for some reason. It just sounds like a blowout because it is, and it has a good round. You know, the 38-13 just sounds good. I tried it in the Miami game, failed. Tried it last week, failed. I was going to try it again this week. I said, nope, I'm going to bring them in a little bit. I've got 27-20 Bills. I think they starts out a little rough. They get in control, late covering, as Dan would say, the backdoor cover for the Jets, but 27-20 Bills.
Okay. I have them winning 24-17. And I think while I would like to see an offensive explosion, I'm a little worried that maybe, like you mentioned, Mike, like maybe things are a little slow to start. I don't want the panic to set in the game, but I think Josh Allen, the Bills, will get into a rhythm. I want to see Stephon Diggs going to earlier on, more consistently. I just want to see them pick up those, just have those consistent first downs, be able to move the chains. I would love to see a deep ball. That would be pretty nice to see that connection. And how about the running game? Because that's gone missing. It's on the side of a milk carton currently. So I have the Bills winning that one 24-17. Is this a safe zone?
Yep, trust triangle.
Go ahead.
Trust triangle. I'm a little worried because the confidence that I had in this team is a little shaken because I talked about it after the game. Like, my hope is that it was a flat game in Jacksonville. My fear is that it goes way deeper. And so my fears are like, the Bills should win this game. But the fear is that they're going to struggle again. Don't look at this. This is a safe space.
Could happen.
Oh, my God. Well, if that's the case, the panic button would be...
Oh, it'd be like pound the panic button. Hit the button. Hit it again.
Yeah. No, it's true. All right.
You okay now?
Dumbfounded by it.
Well, we let you talk. We let you express your fears.
You're so annoying. If you haven't checked out our live show, I guess Mike
Nana just talked and talked and talked.
God, Mike talked the entire time. Couldn't get a word in edgewise. All right, fine. All right, be sure to check out more.
Do I not get a pick?
I thought you did get a pick.
I didn't say a pick.
No, he hasn't made a pick yet. Jenna was going to keep talking. Go ahead, Dan. Make your pick.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Now that Jenna's done talking. Look, I said on the show on Thursday, I just think it's an overreaction to a bad game. Teams have bad losses. You look at the Packers week 1. Teams around the league lose games they shouldn't lose. It's a wake-up call. It's say whatever you want. The Bills humbled. I think they get back to being hungry. Say what you want. I think that them, I tweeted that there was no dancing at practice. There was no karaoke. There was no, dance-offs. They didn't win or lose because of the way they acted or danced at practice. That's not it. I just think it got them back to their basics, got them back to refocusing a little bit more business-like. I like that idea. I think, again, they put up 30-plus points because I think that's the type of offense, and I have so much confidence in Josh Allen and Brian Dable to figure out that they had a bad offensive line and they were bad in Jacksonville. Move the pocket. Find ways to get around it. Find ways to neutralize a bad offensive line and a good pass rush. Bills win pretty convincingly. I don't think it's ever really in doubt. 31-17, cover and over. Nope, that's just under.
Okay.
The under-over is 48.5, so that would be
right under.
just,
48.
Yeah, just under.
Okay. All right. I let you do your pick, Dan. Sorry.
Jeez.
Sorry about that.
Jenna, you have more to say?
No, you just talked so much, Mike, that I forgot that Dan didn't go. Fine. All right. We're going off the rails. For Dan Fates, Mike Catalana. I'm
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. You heard it from Dan. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on the Buffalo Plus channel. You're so annoying.